What I do see, unfortunately, is a hero of mine, and I still appreciate him and what his message represents.
I'm so angry.
But the boss decided that he had to make an Instagram post
Oh,
this
he's
afternoon.
so in with the Obamas and the Clintons. Like, it's gross.
It's
gross.
I wanted to let the people know the importance of this election.
Willie Nelson would never get in with them.
Bruce, I don't know, man, but this message hurt.
Oh,
All right, no joking. Colin, why is it in slow motion?
I don't know, but I like it. It's funny.
You know how long it'll take to hear this?
Give me 1 sec. Not sure what happened there.
Okay, first of all,
poor Bruce. First of all, Bruce, this is not 1984 anymore.
I was at that tour. I was at that I saw Born in the USA at the Orange Bowl in Miami.
But Bruce he's trying to channel the Born in the USA right now. He's wearing the peacoat. He's in a diner.
Because he's middle America.
He's got the little American flag there. It's like that America that you think the Democratic Party represents. It's dead.
He doesn't care
for a long time.
It enriches him and his friends. The fact that he hangs out with the people he hangs out with is the telling portion. You don't hang out with people like the Obamas and really care about the little man anymore.
Yeah. Well, Bruce has something.
Oh my God. This is you know what this is? This is sad to me.
It is.
This would be like, it's sad.
I'm Bruce Springsteen. Friends, fans, and the press have asked me who I'm supporting in this most important of elections.
Everybody knows who you're supporting. This isn't some big announcement like people didn't know you were going to. If people asked you who you were going to support, you say, I'm supporting the Democrat. What's her name? Kamala Harris.
He's just, I'm so disappointed.
And with full knowledge that my opinions no more or less important than those of any of my fellow citizens, here's my answer. I'm supporting Kamala Harris for president and Tim Walz for vice president, and opposing Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. Here's why.
But that's really all you needed to say, Bruce.
No, he needs an explanation. He has to go through the talking points he was given. There's talking points that must be made.
You think he's really reading into something right
Absolutely.
now?
We are shortly coming upon one of the most consequential elections in our nation's history. Perhaps not since the Civil War has this great country felt as politically, spiritually, and emotionally divided as it does then at this moment. It doesn't have to be this way. The common values, the shared stories that make us a great and united nation are waiting to be rediscovered and retold once again. Now that will take time, hard work, intelligence, faith, and women and men with the national good guiding their hearts. America's the most powerful nation on earth, not just because of her overwhelming military strength or economic power.
Really, Bruce?
I mean,
overwhelming military power.
Oh,
what happened to the Bruce Springsteen that was fight the power?
You know what happened to him.
Fight the power, Bruce? I think you got it backwards.
This is so sad to me.
Why don't you just say the most lethal fighting force? That's what you should have said. If you're really gonna,
this is just sad.
Just carbon copy it, and you're saying this in a fucking diner in the Midwest. This is so. You should be your 30-year-old self would be ashamed of you.
It's so sad. It's like it's the fall of a hero. It's pitiful. He even looks pitiful to me. He even looks somewhat beaten down to even being there doing this.
He literally turned 75 this past week. And he looks great, and he still sounds good.
That's not the point. No, he sounds broken.
But
he's reading a teleprompter.
He does sound broken. Where's the inspiration, Bruce? Because I don't hear it.
It'll take time. We don't have that kind of time. We just don't have.
Is it going to happen after you're dead? Because that's kind of what you're implying.
Kind of.
We don't have that kind of time.
He sounds like a politician because he's reading from a script.
But because of what she stands for, what she means, what she believes in, freedom, social justice, equal opportunity, the right to be in love who you want. These are the things that make
pink washing. Now he's pink washing. Oh, please.
When you say that you support what she stands for, you didn't say anything.
No, it was just all platitudes because that is what she stands for, is platitudes. He actually did go over exactly what she stands for, which is nothing. But the pink washing, that having to like pull out, are you kidding me? So you're basically using the LGBTQ community to justify supporting somebody that's committing a genocide against Palestinians. I actually know, ironically, a member of the LGBTQ community that's Palestinian, and I could tell you, this is not heartwarming. They love who they love. They'd rather their people stop being murdered. We have that already.
And many
you.
people have pointed out time and again,
Oh,
especially when
pink
you
washing.
attempt to use that as a reason
Oh.
to justify anything that Israel is doing, is the most loathsome way of going about it. And it's the same thing here in this country when they hang abortion over your head when you can't afford to pay for anything. This is how it works.
Well, and that's the reason why the choice issue is really much more important to more affluent people.
Why affluent women?
It's their issue, because the truth of the matter is vulnerable women, and especially Black women, have not had the same access to women's reproductive rights, freedom, abortion as ever. They've never had that. So to them, it isn't a noticeable difference because they never had that to begin with.
If you go back and look at what was the pussy hat wearing march called?
Oh, the moms?
It wasn't Moms Demand Action.
They were just anti-Trump. It was after Trump won the vagina hat march.
But if you go back and you look at that march and you really look in that crowd, they're all wine moms. All wine moms from the suburbs.
Totally.
Why do you think they were able to do so?
I know people that were there.
Yeah.
I know someone who's there. I know a few people.
And that in itself is
very
in
privileged.
a nutshell. Those are the people that care about things like this. People whose lives are not affected by any of this. People like the crowd that Jose Vega, bringing the whole show full circle. When you're interrupting people in a group like that, these are the people who look at somebody like Springsteen now and think he's great. 30 years ago, they wouldn't have listened to him for a minute because his message actually had some teeth to it. Now it has nothing.
I'm so sad.
Everything that he claimed he was never going to be.
This has to be very hard for you.
It is.
It would be like if Dolly came out and supported like the Zionist state. I think I'd kill myself. Like that could push me over the edge. That would be it. She's the only living muse left in my life. So if she came out, like I would lose my shit. This has to be hard for you.
But this is the thing that you've been saying, and I agree. What I'm taking away from this message from Bruce is that he's kind of done fighting.
Oh yeah. He's just succumbed. He's just friends. He's enjoying his final years with the Obamas and living.
And as hard
life.
as this is, and Bruce sang about this, a rich man in a poor man's shirt. And that used to mean something because he was a rich man. He's been a rich man for 40 years, but now he's a billionaire. He is in a different world. And no matter how much he wants to not be in that world, he will not give up being friends with the Obamas or Tom Hanks or George Clooney. That type of stuff matters to him.
Yes.
Because he's first of all,
that means he's affected.
He is affected.
It's so unfortunate.
Bruce is also an exceptionally depressed individual.
Okay, well, and a lot of musicians have issues.
They are.
Because they're artists, and artists have issues. That's what makes their art so good.
And that's what also hurts, because unlike most artists who are over the hill, and let's face it, most artists do suck, Bruce still has an ability. Bruce wrote a song less than a decade ago called Hitchhiking on Western Stars, which is a great album if you haven't listened to it. And Western Stars is an album that captures sort of this imagery. He hasn't had something like that since he did Darkness on the Edge of Town, Born in the USA in Nebraska. And that was even before I was alive. So if you're going to talk
about good days.
I wish I wasn't.
It was a great show. Actually, that was a really good show. The Orange Bowl Born in the USA show. It was amazingly
It's legendary.
Good. Yeah, it was really good.
But
I also saw Prince Purple Rain in that same stadium. But right around the same time.
But those days are gone. Just like Dan Marino's not the quarterback of the Dolphins anymore.
Makes me sad. Although, did you see the commercial where they came out of retirement? It's him, Emmitt Smith. I want to say, oh God, who else? There's 4 of them. And they're sitting and watching the game. And remember
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice, Emmitt Smith, Dan Marino, and there was a 4th person, but they all come out of retirement and then they decide, I think we're good on the couch right here.
And the thing that's even more amazing, which cannot be denied, because if you look at statistical data that has been measured after Taylor Swift gave her endorsement, that hurt Kamala. And
Joe Montana. Thank you.
And it also hurt Taylor Swift. I don't think this is going to hurt Bruce, but I don't know why anyone thinks that this is going to move the needle in any direction whatsoever.
The only people that are affected by this were already voting that way anyway. It's the bubble, because he's in that bubble. And yes, the Purple Rain show was amazing. I actually ended up connecting with this Usher friend, and then we got to the 11th row, and I was on the field. It was really amazing.
I have a friend that owns Jersey Freeze. Now, for those of you who are from where I'm from in central New Jersey, you do know of Jersey Freeze. It's one of Bruce's favorite places. He shows up every once in a while. And it just so happens that when he showed up earlier this year, he did happen to show up with Bon Jovi. And the two of them are there taking a photo with my friend from high school, and everyone's talking about it. And yes, there are those glimpses of not completely removing yourself from common behaviors. But this is not common behavior. This is the behavior of being a gatekeeper within a broken system. And of all people,
he's
Bruce
a shill.
Knows it's broken. He knows it's broken.
He doesn't care anymore, clearly. He's simping for the freaking Dems. It's embarrassing.
We'll finish it up.
Make America great. Donald Trump is the most dangerous candidate for president in my lifetime. His disdain for the sanctity of our Constitution, the sanctity of democracy,
you mean
the
like
sanctity of the rule of law, and the sanctity of the peaceful transfer of power should disqualify him from the office of president.
They will not
again.
They will not get off of January 6th. They will not get off
because that's the talking point. They have that because that's the fear point. Look what happens. If Trump wins, orange man bad. If Trump wins, then all the crazies are going to try to take over again. The guy's going to go in, he's going to grab the podium and walk out smiling. And the guy with the shaman hat's going to come out. And those people are a real threat to our democracy. How about the fact that the Democrats don't even have a primary? I'd say that the democracy is already gone. That ship sailed. So yeah, this is bothering me because I actually really have fond memories of Bruce Springsteen.
And he's still great. He's still got it.
Doesn't matter. No,
but it doesn't matter now.
He's dead to me now. I mean, not Mel Gibson, Bill Cosby dead, but still.
I don't know what he believes of this. And it is delusional.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate.
Because when you come out and you make this statement about the sanctity of democracy and the sanctity of our Constitution, you have a couple of things that you're ignoring, Bruce. Number one, you are ignoring the fact that the Democratic Party has completely decimated whatever semblance of an electoral process we have in this country since 2016.
They spend their time creating lawsuits to keep third-party candidates off the ballot.
The GOP does not do that. They've never done it. The Democratic Party does it in races they don't even need to worry about.
This is so
It is
sad.
a cottage industry to suppress. And yes, the GOP has their own version of voter suppression.
Absolutely.
They kick people off of ballots or they kick them off voter rolls.
Who is this ad for Kamala going to a particular demographic office? I'm not sure yet. Where was this? Where was this being played?
No, he just posted it on
this
Instagram.
is just Bruce. This is just Bruce posting it. So whatever, neo-libs who follow Bruce Springsteen.
It got a lot of traction.
I'm sure it did. I'm not calling him the boss anymore. Now I'm sad.
But don't forget, this is also, you're neglecting the part of the democratic process that people want to pretend isn't happening. If you get kicked off of a voter roll, like the Republicans do in a lot of states, do you know why that's not as bad? Because you can still register to vote again.
Unless you don't know that you're kicked off. And
that's
look,
true. And that is up to the population to know. I am sick and tired of defending the fact that we are a stupid country and people don't think for themselves.
So stupid.
That is something I actually do not sympathize
with.
There
is. And one of the things that I've always said is people think the biggest problem is voter complacency. No, voter ignorance is infinitely worse. Based on what the majority of people know and don't know, I assure you we're better off with those people not voting. So the people, unfortunately, need to first be educated in order for them to be their vote to actually be helpful.
The Democratic Party literally rigging a presidential primary and getting away with it. That's the real crime. That's the real tragedy. And the fact of the matter is, in 16, I sympathized with Bernie. In 20, I didn't.
No,
because he let them walk over him.
He knew it would happen and didn't prepare for it.
Didn't prepare.
That-
He had every opportunity.
Yeah.
And I've said this before and I'll say it again. When he should have come out and declared victory in Iowa, which he didn't do, and he allowed that rat weasel to get ahead of him and do it. He then
Booty
goes
judge.
on to win in New Hampshire comfortably, and then he crushes in Nevada. And what he needed to do before Super Tuesday was he needed to get Marianne Williamson, Andrew Yang, and Tulsi Gabbard and guarantee them cabinet positions in his administration, get them to endorse him, and then, yes, whether we like it or not, given the VP spot to Elizabeth Warren. He didn't do it. And then the next thing you know, he gets kneecapped. And you know what? Even if he did try to do it and they refused because they were all in on it from the beginning, at least then the public would have known about it. But instead, Bernie didn't fight the way we needed him to fight.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, or no, should I say number three, is that now the Democratic Party doesn't even care anymore. They are so corrupt beyond words that they allowed a person who clearly has onset dementia and has had it for a long time to think they were going to whisk him into the White House.
No, I think the goal was always to get Kamala in. Let this finish. But
they were going to get Kamala in. They have completely eliminated whatever semblance of electoral process you think exists in this country. So when you say that we are losing the sanctity,
it's so unfortunate.
Bruce, open your fucking eyes, man.
Oh, he's gone.
He doesn't understand the meaning of this country, its history, or what it means to be deeply American.
Let it play.
On the other hand, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are committed to a vision of this country that respects and includes everyone, regardless of class, religion, race, your political point of view, or sexual identity.
They do?
And they want to grow our economy in a way that benefits all, not just a few like me on top. That's
really?
the vision of
knows
America
that.
I've been consistently writing about for 55 years. Now, everybody sees things different, and I respect your choice as a fellow citizen. But like you, I've only got one vote, and it's one of the most precious possessions that I have. That's why, come November 5th, I'll be casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
Of course.
Thanks for listening.
So sad. It's like the end of an era. It's the death of an icon.
It is.
It's so sad.
And the fact that he...
Pitiful.
It is pitiful. The fact that he said what he said.
And
the fact that he talks about Trump doesn't get this country. You have said many times before, Trump is America.
Oh, I can't think of a better representation of this country globally than Donald Trump. Oh, yeah. No, he is us. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, my God. Like, that's such a selly out thing. Oh, it's so unfortunate. What's next?
Go to Rumson, go to Red Bank, go to Middletown, New Jersey. You want to see how Bruce lives. You want to see the people that he lives amongst. You want to see what real upper class living is all about and how expensive it is and how just walking down those streets, you feel like you have to pay a toll.
That's
the world he lives in. And he's been there for a long time. Every once in a while, he wakes up in the morning and he remembers that he's Bruce Springsteen from Freehold, New Jersey. And he has to go out there and find a moment that makes sense to him, like showing up at the Stone Pony in Asbury Park and getting on the stage with people that no one really knows.
But I mean, I don't understand why you're telling us this.
Because Bruce deep down doesn't want to be this person, but he's accepted that he is.
I don't know how you are doing such this psychoanalysis of Bruce Springsteen like he's your best friend and you know what's going on in his mind. He sold out. It's that fucking simple.
I didn't say that he didn't.
But it's like, you don't know that he wants to be this and doesn't want to be that. I think you're making a lot of presumptions. I think that he is just like any other person that does well and forgets where they come from.
But he wasn't always that way, and he was on top, and he didn't forget. And why the hell he made this transition so late in life?
It doesn't, or maybe he wasn't what you thought he was when you thought that. You don't know because you don't really know people, and you don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
I
and
know
they're
what
just celebrities.
I know what I see in front of me.
Exactly, and that is a tiny minutia of somebody's life is what you see in front of you.
Well, yes, but no. You might be right about that. We might be heading in that direction. It certainly seems that.